Hey, this is Cody, and I'm going to explain some domain controller fundamentals. First, I want to talk about the 5 FSMO roles. There is the schema master role, the domain naming role, the RID master role, the PDC emulator role, and the infrastructure role. The schema master role is the domain controller responsible for performing updates to the directory schema. The domain naming role is the domain controller responsible for making changes to the forest-wide domain namespace of the directory. The RID master role is a domain controller responsible for processing RID pool requests from all domain controllers within a given domain. The PDC emulator role is the domain controller that with it is the PDC emulator is necessary to synchronize time within the enterprise. And then the infrastructure role is a domain controller responsible for updating an object's SID and distinguished name in the cross-domain objects reference. These can all be found in the Active Directory domains and trusts, except for the Operation Manager, which can be found in the MMC. There's a couple ways to achieve or receive these roles. By default, your first domain controller will have them. You should only have one domain controller with the FSMO roles. You can seize a role if a domain controller goes down, if you absolutely need it, but transferring is preferred. And now I want to talk to you guys about replication. So, okay. So if we have two domain controllers, we're going to need them to replicate to stay up to date. So, replication happens at the Active Directory database when it has changed. It will send a change notification to the other domain controllers and will either update or queue an update for the domain controller. There's a 15-second delay on each change notification by default, unless it is a security update, which will happen immediately. An example of a security update may be a user gets locked out of his account by an administrator. Replication is a useful part of our networks, but can have issues. These are called replication conflicts and can occur when replications are inconsistent. There are 3 types of these conflicts: attribute conflicts, deleted container conflicts, and distinguished name conflicts. Attribute conflicts are when the same attribute is changed between 2 domain controllers before they have updated. This is resolved by giving way to the newest version of the update or the newest time-stamped update. Another conflict is the deleted container conflict, which occurs when a file is placed in a container by one domain controller, but that container is deleted by another domain controller. This is resolved by simply putting the file in a lost and found directory. Lastly, the distinguished name conflict occurs when 2 objects are named the same between 2 domain controllers. This is resolved by renaming the file with the lowest numeric value in the stamp. All of these conflicts are rare, especially if you lower the time of change between your change notifications. However, when you lower this, it may cause higher network activity because you're sending more replications over a small amount of time. And then we'll talk about time servers. You need to keep your times synced on your domain controllers. You will run across issues if you don't, and it's nice to have the times configured correctly anyway. There's no reason they shouldn't be. The way I do this is by going to our registry, and you go to HKey local machine, system, current control set, services, Win32 time, config, and here you'll see an announce flags. If you modify this, if you just want to make sure this is an A here, and then you want to open CMD, and CMD lastly type in net stop W32 time and net start 32 time. Once that's all set, time should be configured over your domain, and it's one less thing to worry about. Before I knew about this, I would manually go in and change it on each node, but this helped out a lot and saved me a lot of time. Next I want to show you guys about some group policy here. Okay. Password requirements for users on your network. If you go to Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, and then Password Policy, you can change all of these here to affect how users can create passwords over your domain. So you can enforce password history, maximum password age, minimum password age, length, complexity, and all this can be modified to however you want, so it's a great tool for keeping your users on your domain secure. And then we can talk about software installation. If we go to policies here and go to software settings, we can see a software installation tab here. If we go to new package, we can put new packages in that are installations. I don't have one on this server, but once you get that on there, they are allowed to use that. And if you right click it, go to properties, you can go to an update tab, and there you can configure it so they can even update the package. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.